everybody, and Shawn, welcome back.
Thank you. So I've been overseas for almost 3 weeks, 3+ weeks, right? So it's of course, it's a good break and everything, but very glad to finally be back.
So Shawn, what will we be covering today?
I think recently, of course, there's a lot of hype coming up for the AMO, or some people call it Amo, some people call it, I don't know, AMO, I don't know what, right? Residences, right? I think the key here is really want to look at it do we think that the prices are fair? Is it high? What do we think of the market moving forward? What even do you think our prediction for this particular so-called new launch? How much do you think will be sold at, and even percentage, how much will be sold?
Okay, just to give everyone some brief idea, right? Amo Residences, right, is a 372 units new launch project, right? That's just off Ang Mo Kio Avenue 1. So it's a 99 years leasehold project. And what are the main selling points, right, of Amo Residences?
I would say it's definitely because it's in between not just one but two very good schools, right? St. Nicholas and of course the Ai Tong Primary School.
Popular schools.
Very popular schools. And of course recently, there was a change in regards of how they are going to enroll the primary 1, alright, into the schools, where alumni now is basically taken out of the picture, which means that there are more places that's coming into play within those parents' proximity of 1 km, and therefore, of course, projects like this will tend to be a bit more popular because that is what is needed to then send the kids to this popular school.
So I think to give everyone an idea, right, shall we talk a bit about what are the expected prices, right, that we're going to see for this project? So let me report the numbers, okay? So if we are talking about the 2-bedroom, right, it's going to be starting at 2,050 per square feet onwards. And then if you're talking about the 3-bedroom, it's going to start at 1,900, but probably those will be a bit more rare, like just 1, 2 or 3 units, right? And it's going to be 1,950 and upwards.
Yeah.
So if you're talking about a 4-bedroom, right, it starts at 1,950 and you go up 2,000 per square feet.
Yes.
And a 5-bedroom, right, is going to be starting at 2,000 per square feet.
I think the number one thing that you realize, right, is something that's missing is obviously the 1-bedroom apartments in Amo, right? And of course, this is why it's basically missing over here. Is because number one, this belongs to OCR. Typically, 1-bedroom is not as popular, even though there will be buyers, don't get me wrong. But for every 1-bedroom that a developer is going to build, they will pretty much need to build bigger unit size.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because of the minimum requirement of unit size as regulated average unit size, right? As so-called that's given by URA. So that's why there isn't any 1-bedroom in this scenario.
If we talk about for example, the 2-bedroom starting at 2,050 per square feet, right? Does it make sense? Is this viable? How does this compare with the surrounding projects and what so?
I think there's a few key surrounding projects that we can look at. I think the most direct comparison would be the Panorama. Panorama is pretty close by. I think if I look at the transaction over there, most of the transactions are around the 1,800 PSF range at the moment. Yeah, which technically, if you think about it, if a older condominium like that, it's actually transacting at around 1,800 PSF, then wouldn't a 1,900 to 2,000 PSF then be a fair pricing for something that is newer?
Just to give you an idea, right, we are bringing up this table, right, which is that you can see that for a unit that's 1,012 square feet, right, the per square feet is going at 1,819 for this Panorama, and a smaller unit, right, that transacted in June, 775 square feet, is going for 1,716 per square feet.
Correct. And this is, to me, is very interesting because, especially in the OCR region like Ang Mo Kio, where there are a lot more more home buyers, right? And people who probably want to live there because they have a very big motivation when it comes to school. What does this mean? This means that actually, you notice, actually the bigger unit, the higher the PSF.
Yes.
Right? So we are getting 1,800 plus PSF obviously for the 3-bedrooms, okay, and the 2-bedrooms are actually at 1,700 PSF. So to me, what does this mean? This means that actually if the developer is going to launch the Amo Residences, where 2-bedrooms are going to be higher PSF as compared to the 3-bedroom and 4-bedroom, actually think about it, then there is actually a bit more opportunity in the 3-bedroom and 4-bedrooms rather than the 2-bedroom.
100% agree with you in the sense that when people are buying in those projects, right, they are buying as a home, as a family. So, and even if someone is trying to rent over there, right, they are going to be renting as a family purely because of the 2 popular schools that is near it.
So I think all in all, if I look at the distribution of units, I think 2-bedroom, 1 bath, I'm not too for it, honestly. 2-bedroom, 2-bath, I don't think that if they're pricing at higher PSF as compared to the 3-bedroom and 4-bedroom, then actually it's not going to be as worthwhile. But if you're talking about 3 bedrooms and above, I actually think that it's fairly priced comparing to the resale transactions around it.
Fairly priced?
Fairly priced.
Why do you say that?
I mean, at extra 150 PSF or so higher as compared to a project that is 5 or more years older.
Yeah, just to give you context, right? Panorama, right, is a project that is a 9 years lease
from
2013,
which means that technically we are almost 8 to 9 years apart.
Yeah. So the completion date is actually 2017. So it's actually 5 years.
Yes.
From today. Yeah.
So even you do it by math, all right. So 10 years, okay, just to round it up to make it easier, 10 years apart is 10% of the depreciation. Which means that if you take the 1,800 PSF times 1.1, which is 10% higher because it's 10% newer, it will also come up to about 2,000 PSF. And that is why I say just on a apple-to-apple comparison basis, I think at the 2,000 PSF, given the resale transactions surrounding it, it's actually launched at a very fair price.
Actually, to be frank, right, I will say that it's better.
In a way, because new, right?
Yes, exactly. Because when it's new, right, we don't need to do renovation.
That's true.
And don't need to touch up anything. It's brand new. It comes with warranty, and like that will be one main positive point.
Yeah, exactly. So I think personally, my personal opinion is that 3 bedroom, 4 bedrooms is actually worthwhile to go for it, especially if you're a home buyer. Yeah, I think
likes to stay in Amo Kio.
That likes to stay in Amo Kio. Yeah, so very specifically in that category itself. But I just want to put a little bit of so-called, not say warning lah, right? But my thoughts in terms of what I think the future is going to be as well. Because fair value or not, right? I think that doesn't equate to going to make a profit. At the end of 5 years.
Absolutely.
These have no relevance with each other, right? I think that for you to make profit for this particular project, you want to sell it at 20% higher price point, so that it makes sense for you to go in, which means it's a 2,400 PSF if you want to exit 5 to 6 years later. So the key here is that is the market ready to accept a 2,400 plus PSF in Amo Kio, right? Because if you look at 1,100 square feet, which is about most of the 3 bedrooms, right? We are looking at 2.5, 2.6 million exit. Right? And I think that's going to be a little bit of a challenge over here.
Especially with TDSR at like 55%, right?
Yes, right. If you actually do the reverse calculation for a 40-year-old couple, right, to basically afford a $2.6 million property, both income add together, actually you probably need an income of closer to 20,000 a month. And that, of course, itself, I would say, is a little bit out of the average profile itself. So therefore, I think that exiting at 2.6 million and above is going to be a bit of a challenge unless incomes go up, all right? If not, then I think it's going to be a bit of a challenge. And not to mention, if I look at the resale market in the core city region itself, right? I think if you look at 2,000 PSF, there's actually quite a few options out there. Yeah, so it's just another matter of, hey, would this home buyer then or investor in that scenario, would they choose a core central region so-called product or property to purchase for investment rather than in Amo Kio?
So I'm in agreement with you, whereby I feel that there's a better opportunity in the CCR region because it has been beaten down over the years. So the thing is this. When it comes to the preview, right, the whole Amo Residence, right, drew over 7,500 people to view it.
It's insane, right? They just need a 5% closing rate to sell out the whole project, right?
Yeah, man. 5% of 7,500, everything will sell out.
Everything will be sold out, right?
Yeah.
But I think of
so
course,
the question is this: do you think it will sell out well?
I think it will not sell out because no matter how good a project is, I think so far we haven't ever achieved 100% sell rate, no matter what we've seen, right? Because typically home buyers will tend to need to sell their existing home before they enter into another new launch project due to now there's no such a reissue of OTP. So that's still a challenge for a lot of home buyers. So therefore, I think that the 2 bed 1 bath, 2 bed 2 baths, for those people who's thinking of entering it like an investment, yeah, it might sold out. But there will be 3, 4 bedrooms and of course 5 bedrooms still available. But all in all, I personally think that they probably hit the 60 something to even 70% sold out rate, with of course the 4 bedrooms still remaining out there. But I still think that 4 bedrooms are worthwhile to consider. The only, especially home buyers, the only thing here is of course to time your purchase so that you don't get charged with ABSD.
So I think in short, right, I think like your answer is that for homeowners that's willing to hold this property for a long time, you may likely not lose money over this.
I think the probability of losing money is actually very, very low.
Yeah, but for investors, right, there will be
looking
better
for a fire
opportunities.
flip or fires exit to make that 20% capital appreciation. I think that perhaps there might be better opportunity in the core city region because the PSF is really about the same.
Resale or new launch?
I think both you can even consider. If you look, I think if you really look into certain projects that was maybe new launch 1.5 years, 2 years ago, actually there are some core city region projects that are like 2,300 PSF, really not too far from this Amo Residences. Yeah, so that's something that you can consider. Perhaps look into some of the older CCR new launches. If not, then look at the resale CCR projects as well, right? So that's something for you to consider about as an investment. But in summary, if you're a home buyer, don't need to be afraid. Personally, I don't think you need to be afraid by buying 3 to 4 bedroom, you're going to lose money or what if you enter into 2,000 PSF. The sub-sale market or resale market has been proven to be able to accept such price point. But if you expect to make 20% capital appreciation in the next maybe 4 to 5 years, I think maybe you might have a better opportunity to make such profits maybe in the core central region because the core central region has really been beat down. As I mentioned, for the last many years, have not grown for quite a while. So if core city region don't grow, I think it's going to be challenging for Amo Residences to outbid core city region product.
Absolutely. So I hope you have learned something from this video. So we'll see you in the next video. Bye.